Hello beautiful people, hello dear developers of TOPWAR, welcome to a fantastic episode in which I'm gonna address again the situation of the runes of the Titan gear. And of course in this video I'm gonna add the impact of the Titan Blessing event, which means in other words my personal experience participating in this event, but also since yesterday I have received a lot of DMs from a lot of players and I'm gonna add their feedback into this because as well as the players but also the developer team, which is by the way 70 to 80% a new team, have actually a common ground. While the players want to improve their accounts the best way possible when they are using their items, and these items can be obtained for free or can be buyable. At the same time, also the developers would like to improve the revenue which the game generates, and the common ground here is to truly understand how the vast majority of these tools inside this game actually interact with each other, or to put it in a more simpler way is, dear developers, you have to understand the gravity of the situation, which is this idea of implementing the runes in TOPWAR by the old team. So first of all, let's start with this. A common goal of a player is actually to reach a solid match for his navy, for his tanks, and for his planes, which brings us to a whopping 9 heroes in total. And each of these heroes can have 6 pieces of gear. And for each of these pieces of gear, you can actually apply these runes on. But guess what? In order to maximize just one of these runes, you're actually going to need 32 runes level 0 in total with the new system. So, dear developers, this brings us to a whopping value of 1,728 runes, which must be obtained for a player in order to maximize just 3 marches. I'm not gonna even touch the topic of the second best march, because you keep throwing heroes at us, expecting us to use them somehow, maybe in a main march, maybe in the second march. But this crazy total number of 1,728 of level 0 runes needed is actually not realistic at all, because let's say for example you are done with your magnetic pulse runes at one point on your tanks and you would love to get some ignition runes. Yeah, it's still possible that you're gonna get some magnetic runes on top, so therefore this is by far one of the most important feedback coming from my side. I think you developers have to take this step as soon as possible, and whenever you are crafting this gear and you get a chance to get a rune, you should actually get a box, and from that box I am literally allowed to pick whatever rune I would like in order to have this huge number, which is 1,728 runes, be more realistic, which is still a crazy amount of runes, which you succeed because now we are gonna have to take in consideration the Titan Blessing event, which due to the Titan Blessing effect, it will gonna increase your chances to get a rune when you're crafting. Now, if I'm adding all the feedback which I have received till today, plus my experience, and I will also gonna present you in this episode exactly what I got and how much I have spent items wise and where did I got those items, we are seeing a roughly average of getting a rune now being boosted by the Titan Blessing effect of around 10% drop chance, which is definitely a step into the right direction. So dear developers, dear players, how would this very effective and fast solution should look like? So with the Titan Blessing event, we have right now a roughly drop rate for a rune of around about 10%. I would suggest to go slightly higher than that, maybe 20%, and on top of this I would love to see something else implemented, like for example for X amount of legendary gear crafted, you get a guaranteed chance to get a rune. I know we have the top tier catalysts which guarantees you a rune also, and you can keep that in game because that's more or less a sellable item. And on top of this, you should change the way the runes are dropping. So no longer a random rune, but actually a box specifically for that piece of gear you have crafted, which will allow me to pick exactly the rune which I need at that point. So from this perspective, this is exactly how the solution would look like, will help a lot the players, and guess what, River Game, you are actually increasing your revenue in the process. So now let's go back to those of you which actually didn't saw the stream yesterday, which I still highly recommend you guys to go watch it. That's one way to support this channel. Also, I'll try my best to have a very entertaining stream, very informative stream, and also have some fancy music. So please, if you want to support, go watch the stream. And how many items in total have I used, and what have I obtained, and what I will gonna do with these runes? This is a very important part of the episode, especially for the players right now. So you need to craft 10 legendary piece of gear in order to have this Titan blessing active, and also for every 10 pieces of legendary gear which you obtain from crafting, you're gonna get 3 maps. So in total, I have obtained yesterday 15 maps, which also represent the fact that I got in total 50 legendary pieces of gear, and also I got a couple of boxes. So in other words, I have used 125 blue catalysts, 31 purple catalysts, and 14 gold catalysts. But again, we're gonna have to talk about this item here in a second. So 100 blue catalysts, I was prepared for this event. A 20 extra blue catalysts I actually have bought from the seasonal sales from here, and also one more gold catalyst from here. And I have crafted, and you can see that basically in the stream, and also have recycled a couple of times. But also, if you watch the stream, you're gonna see me actually at one point using some of those stats in order to put on other pieces of gear. Like, I think it was a damage increase, and the total result of using those items is actually getting 3 runes. And these are the runes which I have obtained. One is the magnetic pulse, the other one is the decreased damage taken of 10%, and the other one is an HP boost level 0 rune, which can be applied on a hero. Presumably he has per design an HP enhancement tool, like for example Snake Eyes, Quilly, Brunhild, Asuka. So now you are seeing me having these 4 runes in total in my inventory, and that's exactly where these runes will gonna stay till we'll get the Alliance Duel event available on my server 2216. And indeed, this is an improvement, but using the runes right now won't make a massive difference on the battlefield, but it will make a massive difference by keeping them in here, because once the Alliance Duel event is coming, actually the 5th day has a task: use 1 Titan rune and get 250,000 points. So that's exactly the moment in which I'm gonna equip these runes on some heroes and get a total of 1 million points and get a lot of individual rewards. So it's absolutely super worth it to be patient and wait for the perfect moment to use these items, just like I have recommended for the viewers of this channel. Please hold back on all your catalysts exactly for this moment right here, which is the Titan Blessing event. So anyways, beautiful people, we're gonna do something more interesting in 1 or 2 days maximum, because I really have to wait for the vast majority of the players out there to actually interact a bit more with this Titan Blessing event. And that is the moment in which I'm gonna make a poll on this YouTube channel, on the community tab, and there I'm gonna ask you the following question: what's your experience with the Titan Blessing event? Is it a positive one? Do you think this is a step in the right direction? And I'm gonna highly ask you guys not just only to participate, because it always gonna make a difference. I will also on top would kindly ask you to be very honest. So beautiful people, one more thing we have to address in here, because you saw me actually having this legendary catalyst, and where did I got it from is actually from this box though indeed is only a 40% chance to get it, and that will guarantee me a rune, which may sound great, but the reality is a different one, because it's gonna be a random rune which I maybe need right now to immediately get a solid upgrade, or probably have to hold back on it and see how I can use it later on. And also we're gonna have to add, there is a decoration implemented in here, and the way this thing is implemented, the Shattered Sky, is you will be able to get this decoration over time. And what you can see in my inventory, and you can also see in yesterday's stream, I actually got one of these fragments, and you need 10 fragments in total in order to get this decoration. The way to approach is, don't stress yourself so much about it. Yes, indeed, it looks absolutely great, and also indeed, I do not expect that this decoration can be upgradable with the universal decoration charts. In other words, I am aware of its existence, but I won't stress myself by thinking, oh boy, I really actually need this decoration as soon as possible. The time will tell. And that's the way I think about it. So anyways, beautiful people, this was pretty much everything regarding this Titan Blessing event. It's gonna be super awesome if you guys actually share your thoughts in the comments, and let's slowly start to discuss this topic, because from my perspective, yeah, this is not a massive improvement, but it's definitely for sure a step into the right direction, especially if the developers finally understand that with a couple of more steps, we can indeed balance out this situation as soon as possible, while at the same time they will actually gonna increase their revenue at the same time. So beautiful people, as always, do not forget to support what supports you back. That is exactly this channel and me personally since November 2022. So please check if you are subscribed, share this channel with your friends. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, don't forget to see me in the next episode. Ciao guys!